Hello, welcome to another episode of GYSB Talks. I am your host, Carla Palmer. So excited to be with you guys today. This is going to be a quick episode, but I wanted to come on and share something with you. I don't know if I've shared this already, but uh, I have reached 20 years at my current job, at my current company. I have been with a nonprofit organization for the past 20 years. And last month, I celebrated my 20th anniversary. I serve LA County Foster Youth as the Director of Development for a nonprofit LA organization called United Friends of the Children. United Friends of the Children. I've had the pleasure of working here, like I said, for many years, and I've had a number of different roles. It started off as a counselor working directly with the youth to help them with their career and education goals as they aged out of foster care. Because we have like two programs in this organization: education program, and then we have transitional housing for emancipated foster youth. So when a foster youth emancipates from care at the age of, let me fix my mic, at the age of 18, they run a risk of being homeless. Okay. So they run an imminent risk of being homeless. So we have this program where they can come in and they can get all of these wraparound services to help them to become self sufficient adults. So I was working directly with youth in that program as a counselor. Then I was promoted to a career development manager, where I assisted them with continuing to do work readiness training. I had counselors who worked with me to help these youth achieve some of their career and education goals. And so, anyway, long story short, I did that for a number of years. It was one of those things where I don't want to use the word comfort, but I'm not sure what other word I can really use to fully sum up what happened there. It's not that I didn't like my job. I really enjoyed doing direct service with the youth, but I was in that role for like 10 years as the career development manager. So we had a CEO who came on board, and when she came on board, she took a lay of the land and was, thinking about some ways that she might be able to restructure and do some things that she wanted to do under her leadership. That happens when you get new leaders who come into organizations. There's often a reorg, there's often downsizing, and severance packages and all the things, right? So she came in, and I had a feeling, because people talk at work. I had a feeling that my career and education department, might be in a little bit of jeopardy. So one day she came into my office and she said, "Listen, I heard you thought you were going to lose your job. I heard you think you're going to lose your job." And I'm thinking to myself, people talk too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know like how that got back to this woman, but it got back to her that I had some concerns about the security of my job, my position. So I said to her, "Yes, I do have some concerns about, like, my how long I'm going to be at United Friends, what you're going to do in your leadership role. I have some concerns." So she says to me, "I have two options for you." So basically, I wasn't wrong. So she had two options for me. One, I could take a severance and go on about my life and find something else to do. Wasn't a great severance, to be honest with you. I think it was like 3 months or something like that. It was little. You would have to find a job really, really quickly. I was a single mom. I didn't really, when you get into a role or a job or with a company, and you find yourself kind of doing the same thing for like 10 years, there's a part of you that doesn't really have the confidence that you would need to actually go out and get another job. Because then you start to think, well, gosh, I've been stuck doing this for X number of years. What are my transferable skills? Oh my gosh, I haven't interviewed in like 15 years or whatever, right? Because I've been in development for 6 years. So I hadn't interviewed in like 14 years. I don't know. I was like, I don't think I can leave. So I said, "What's the other option? What other job do you have for me here at this company? Because I love the organization. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization. We've got really great outcomes, and the young people that we work with who are in foster care and who have emancipated from foster care are truly some of the most amazing, incredible, resilient human beings I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. So I said, "Well, what's this other job?" And she said, "It is a job doing development work. There's a new role that we have, which is the manager of uh, corporate and community engagement." I said, "Hmm." So I looked at the job description. I said, "That seems like sales to me." She said, "Well, I wouldn't use the word sales, but it definitely is a fundraising position, and you will have fundraising goals." I'm like, "Sales." But so I told her, "Well, I will give it a shot because I just didn't want to go and look for a new job." And that role kind of seemed interesting, and I was thinking to myself, "Well, it's time for a change. Maybe this is the change that you need." So I accepted the position, and I didn't really get any training to do the position. But I think that they thought that I would be good at that position because I'm sorry for all the notifications. But I think that they thought I would be good for the position because I was really good at building community partnerships and relationships as the career development manager, helping the youth get internships, jobs, training, working directly with the youth, working with the community partners in the areas where the youth were living in our programs. So I was good at the people part, right? That's kind of my superpower, if I really think about it. If I had to say what superpower do you have, I'd say it's definitely relationship building and sustaining relationships, easily building rapport with people, getting the relationship in place and sustaining the relationship over a number of years. Good at that. So I came in and, like I said, didn't have a ton of training. The whole team was new, from the director of development all the way to the admin person. Brand new team. And the person who was doing the director position came from a small town, and I don't think that she was somebody who was used to like this big operating budget that we have as a mid-sized organization. So I say all of that to say we were kind of like the blind leading the blind, like just trying to build a plane as it was taking off, that kind of thing. So there was one particular meeting that we had where we were discussing Foster Care Awareness Month, which is in May, right? Again, I'm brand new with this. So we were talking about like some cool things that we might be able to do. And I'm thinking, okay, well, we'll continue to talk about it in our next meeting, and then we will see how we will be able to move forward. It was already like April or something like that. So in that meeting, we had that conversation. And then in the next meeting, that director says to me, where are we with the Foster Care Awareness Month? And I was like, um, I'm not sure exactly what I was supposed to do. Now, I probably should have gone and asked her or something like that. Like, I probably should have touched base with her, but I didn't. And so I said this in the meeting, and she says, "I don't have the bandwidth to do your job and mine in front of everybody." I sat there and was completely shocked that she would, first of all, talk to me that way in a meeting. Second of all, talk to me that way in a meeting in front of my peers, and talk to me about something that she and I never went back to discuss even further in like a one-on-one or something like that. I was pissed. I was so mad. I walked out of that meeting, didn't say anything else in the meeting. Kind of was like, "All right, cool. I see how you rocking. I see how you rolling. That's fine." And then the next day, I think, or either later on that day, we had a meeting in her office. And she was like, "Let's address the elephant in the room." And I'm thinking, yeah, let's address the elephant in the room. And she was basically, kind of sticking to what she said. "I don't have the bandwidth to do your job. You need to figure it out." Did not apologize and said that she wasn't going to apologize because that's just her style. and I can either, get with it or basically get gone. Not in those words exactly, but that was the way that the message was delivered. Because I really needed my job and because I didn't want to get into it, with my boss, as a being insubordinate. I kind of have old school values when it comes to that, but I was really felt like I was really disrespected. I tell you that story because soon after that, your girl had all kind of partnerships. I had corporate partnerships. I had community relationships. I had money coming in, and this is over time. Like I've been in so many different positions in the development team that sometimes I look back and I'm like, how did that happen? You came in knowing absolutely nothing, but you knew what your superpower was. And it took somebody saying something to you that was disrespectful to make you activate your superpower. I had to activate my superpower because that was the only way I was going to be successful in this job. And I was promoted again to senior manager of corporate and community engagement. And then I was promoted again to assistant director of development. And then a couple years ago, I was promoted to director of development because I activated my superpower, because I was pushed out of my comfort zone in a way that didn't feel great, didn't feel good at all, but in a way that made me elevate, in a way that made me push myself, in a way that was like sink or swim kind of thing. I don't like I don't like receiving motivation in that way. But the times that I have received motivation in that way, I have been able to grow and evolve and be better. So I tell you that story because I want you to think about the times when something similar to this, and it doesn't have to be in a way that was disrespectful or rude, but think about the times when things like this happened to you. Maybe somebody said something that hurt your feelings, but it was something that you needed to hear. Maybe somebody just threw you off the cliff and said, figure it out. And you figured it out. I remember I used to be in meetings and I wouldn't come to meetings very prepared. This was years and years ago. And sorry. I came to a meeting, had the meeting, kind of stumbled through my presentation. This was before I was on the development team. And a friend of mine who also worked with me, we had gone out to dinner that night after work. And I don't know how we got into the conversation about meetings and presenting and all that kind of stuff. And she said, you know, you're so smart, but sometimes when you present, I cringe because you sound so unsure of yourself. You don't come prepared and you're sitting there and it's your turn and I'm cringing. When I tell you, I don't think I said anything else to her during dinner because I was so hurt and so embarrassed and just not ready to hear something like that from a friend. But let me tell you this, she wouldn't have been a friend had she not mentioned it. Now, maybe the delivery could have been different. I don't even really remember, but I remember being very hurt. Probably would have been hurt however the message was delivered because I just love and respect this person and she's brilliant. And I was like, wow, she doesn't see me. I took it as like she doesn't see me as smart. But she led with, you're so smart. It was interesting. But she did that. And you know what I did after that? I prepared for my meetings. I didn't stumble through when it came to me to present in the meetings. I was prepared and I wasn't fumbling through and stumbling over my words and saying, I don't know. If there was a question that was asked about what I was presenting, like I got on my P's and Q's and I started doing the darn thing. So again, the delivery wasn't great. I was pushed out of my comfort zone. I was made aware of how it's being received, perceived by my colleagues, and I changed it up. So I'm telling you, this is a quick video podcast episode, but listen when you get feedback. Listen when you get feedback. Listen or walk away and think and process through some things when somebody who is, a colleague or somebody who is your supervisor or somebody that, your CEO, whatever, when they give you something that is challenging, Take it and do what you can. You will grow, you will evolve, you will be better for it. You might not like it. It might not feel good. You might be like, "Ugh, I don't like that person." Um, but something good can definitely come out of it. Think about that as you enter into 2024. It's coming up. As we move into 2024, um, start thinking about how you can get out of your comfort zone. What do you need to do? What do you want to do? And what is that going to require? Let's not wait till somebody says something to us that is hurtful but pushes us. Like, let's start to push ourselves. Let's start to look at the things that we want to do, the things that we say we want to accomplish in 2024 or over the next 2 years or over the next 5 years, and see where we need to get out of our comfort zone, see where we need to grow, see where we need to maybe, I don't know, take a class. I don't know. But let's see. And let's continue to grow. Let's make sure we are growing. There's a meme going around where you look up in 2024 or look up next year at the same time next year. If you're in the same place that you were in the same time last year, that's not a great thing. And it's not. It's not a great thing. You don't want to be worse, but you want to be better. All right. I hope this was helpful. Um, it was on my heart. I was talking about it yesterday when I got some really, really beautiful flowers and an award. I got a beautiful award for my 20 years of service. And then they had, some people speak some really beautiful things about my life at United Friends of the Children and how I've impacted lives and their lives and some of the youth's lives. And there was a young lady who I gave her first internship to, who now works for us, who spoke and had me in tears. I was bawling, but it was really beautiful. So that's what sparked this episode today. I hope it's helpful, and share it with other people. Share it with somebody. Hey, you know what? If there's somebody that you have been wanting to say something to, but you just haven't done it, maybe this episode can say it for you. I think it can help some people. So if you know some people who need to hear it, share it out. Even if you know some people and you don't know if they need to hear it, share it out. Let's grow the community, guys. I'm excited to continue to share with you. I'm excited to continue to give you some things that you want to be discussed. Let me know what they are. I always tell you that. Let me know what they are. We are in this whole thing together. This is not about Carla. It's about us. It's about us being more joyful, brighter, as we continue to go into deeper into midlife. All right. All right, guys, that's it. Like, share, subscribe, follow, rate the podcast, all the things. If you want to email me, you can email me at gysbmovement@gmail.com. That's gysbmovement@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at gysbmovement, TikTok, gysbmovement, and I'm also on YouTube, gysbmovement. All right, guys, until next time, take care. Bye-bye.